I've been thinking about you day and night. Ever since I saw you with your deep blue eyes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be setting up our March spread for 2025, doing a monthly reset, and then just getting our finances ready to go. This was my February spread, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip over to the month of March, and we are going to be using the Bumblebees kit. And everything that you see in the video will be linked down below for you. This is a 7x9 Erin Condren monthly planner, meaning that there are just line pages after the calendar. And these line pages is what I use to construct my budget in the way that works best for me. So let's go ahead and get started. If you like these type of videos, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing. Have you gotten your March spread set up? If not, go ahead and grab your materials and we can set our budgets up together. So I'm gonna get started with putting down my headers, and I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I think I'm a little zoomed out. So we'll put the washi strips down. And I'll go ahead and grab this one so I can throw this down here. And let's do the other side as well. So I hope you guys are having a good week so far, that you've had a good week. By the time you guys are seeing this, I think it'll be like Friday. So I hope that you had a good week this week. My week has been pretty good, pretty productive. I haven't gotten as much as I wanted to get done this week because, believe it or not, I actually started not feeling well this week. And it's been more of like a fatigue and tired than it has been me actually being sick. So yeah, I haven't actually really been sick, but just not feeling my best. And I honestly think I need some more nutrients. I think I haven't been probably eating as much like fruits and vegetables that I need to. I've been drinking a lot of water, but yeah. So hope you guys have been having a pretty good week. I'm gonna go ahead and get the date dots down and then I will come back. Okay, so now that the date dots are down, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with putting the bills down. So there has been no change so far. I'm filming this video on, I think today is the 27th of February. But I am going through some student loan stuff, and so I could get a student loan bill added to this month. I'm not too sure yet, so we're just gonna go with our normal bills. Everything has pretty much been the same since last month. I did recalculate my rent and utilities, and that's down to about $980, sometimes a little bit more, but I'm trying to get more accurate with my bills, especially now that I am a month ahead on bills. I want to save accurate amounts, and so that any extra money that I have can go toward, you know, savings and investments and completing my emergency fund, fully funded emergency fund, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these down and come back. So I no longer put my business bills in this personal budget planner, because I am now using an 8.5 by 11 Erin Condren planner for the business. So if you missed that update, that is why you see some gaps here with no bills, because I don't put the business bills on here anymore. Next, I have my event stickers. So for this month, I have my niece's birthday party. We have May Kids going live on the 14th, as well as a new release on the 28th. And I will be out of town at the very end of this month. And then I have a counseling session. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot going on this month, and I very much want to keep it that way. So you guys know I love low-key months. So I'm going to get these down. Okay, y'all, so back with the birthdays. So this month I just have my niece's birthday, which will be on the 11th. And I'm gonna go put it over here. And so we're good for birthdays. And the next thing I'm gonna do is put my paydays down. So I'm paid on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I do go ahead and put a sticker down for each of those days on each week, just because it reminds me to check my account and make sure payments did hit, because if for one reason or another they don't hit, I need to go and check on that. So it's just like a reminder for me. So I'm gonna get these down. Next up is my Bible study stickers. And I'm a little conflicted with my Bible study stickers because I, for the longest, have been putting Bible study stickers on Wednesdays because that's my church Bible study. But I actually am a part of another Bible study group. And with that Bible study group, we meet on Tuesdays. And I find myself being more consistent with it's kind of like my peer Bible study group, if you will, than my church Bible study group. So this group is not affiliated with my church. And I'm actually attending that study more than my church Bible study. And so I don't know, y'all. I have to probably pray about it and just kind of see what to do, because really and truly, you guys know, the work week gets hectic and I really don't have the energy to attend multiple meetings and studies at the end, for multiple days a week. I don't know. I just don't have the energy for that. I know some people do, but I don't. I'm very much a person, when I'm done with work or whatever the case may be, I need some time. I need some me time if I've worked all day. And so I usually do my own personal time with God and Bible study, my own personal Bible studies in the mornings before I get my day started. So once you get to the end of the day, you are just kind of ready to just unwind and relax. And sometimes I'm not in the space of trying to learn and pay attention. So I'm saying all that to say that I have been noticing that I'm attending my Tuesday Bible study, but I'm not attending my Wednesday Bible study. And I think it's because I just don't have the capacity to do nighttime studies back to back to back. I just don't have it. So I have to figure out what to do about that. Technically, I could keep the sticker on Wednesday and just know that it'll be a Tuesday Bible study and I can still just check it off, but I'm not sure at the moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our church stickers down. So I do believe that I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually not going to be at church that last Sunday because I'm going to be out of town or coming back from town. So that'll probably be a streaming day. Next up, I have my grocery stickers. So I am going to put grocery stickers down for this month. And I do like to use grocery stickers because I don't like grocery shopping. I love to have groceries. I love to cook. I don't like grocery shopping. So I always put it down as a little incentive to get it done. Then I get to check it off once I've completed it. It works. I've been consistently grocery shopping for a minute now, and every single month I go through and I will check off the groceries. I'm actually probably going to put groceries on Monday because I'm going to be out of town. I'm not even going to be here on the 29th. So we'll put that on Monday. Next, I have my workout stickers that I put on Mondays, and I just track throughout the week to make sure that I am exercising at least 3 times a week. I'm trying to increase that, but we do at least 3 times. Okay, next up, I believe date night will probably be on the 14th. I'm going to put it on this day, actually. And lastly, for the calendar, I have some things that I'm going to track here on the side under this month column. Okay, so just like always with my dashboard page, I'm just going to set it up. I'm not going to fill it in right now. We'll come back and do that at the end of this video so that we can get to the numbers. But I just like to put it down, especially for my new friends who are, oh, you know what? let me grab this, especially for my new friends who are new to the channel and maybe, you know, need to see, okay, how do you put this down? How do you put that down? I like to at least show you guys how I do it. So lately I've been forgetting to use my little block here. And I mean, it's not a big deal, but I just kind of like to do it like this, kind of layer it a little bit. So I just didn't want to forget to do that because I've been forgetting. And so I just kind of want to put it down for my people who want to see that. But as far as filling it in, we're going to do that later on in this video. So this was important dates. So I'm going to put that here. Okay. And then put this at the top. Ooh, this is pretty, y'all. I'm liking this. This kind of like deep turquoise color with the yellow and the gold. It's definitely a vibe. So let's put this down. I usually don't even do this in this portion, but because I've been forgetting it lately, I wanted to do it. Okay, so this is the monthly budget sheet, and we're going to go ahead and get this set up. So I just come down to the second line, and it's a little crooked. I also have a video of, and I probably need to make a new playlist for you all, but for those of you who are using Budget Mom or Happy Planner, I do have videos where I show you all how to put down the stickers as well. So I probably will work on making a playlist, maybe like call it a how to apply stickers playlist, and put those two videos in there for my friends who are using the other planners and want to see how I would put it down. 1, 2, 3. So if you are new here, my budget is just for me. I don't budget for anyone else. I don't have any pets, and I live by myself. So my budget is just for me. And so the numbers that you are about to see reflect a single budgeter. And I am in a relationship, but we do not mix our money right now. So this is just all me. All right, so let's start filling some things in. So my income sources would be All Things Planned, the channel that you're watching, and miscellaneous, which relates to any maybe refunds or returns or, you know, anything like that that I get back, stimulus check. I'm just throwing it out there. So let's go with variable expenses. These will be my cash envelopes. So my categories are spending, gas, groceries. Side note, I started the video off telling you guys how I wasn't feeling that well, and actually sitting here filming and like talking, and I'm actually feeling better just talking to you all, knowing that you're gonna see the video, we're gonna get to talk to each other in the comments. It's a vibe. We uplift each other in so many ways. It's crazy. Okay. Groceries, home, eating out, meds, and beauty. These are my variable expenses. So for this month, spending, I am going to give myself a budget of $40. My spending money just kind of pertains to like snacks, coffees, anything like that. It's very small spending. It's not big purchases. Gas is going to get $120. So my gas budget is going down by $60. So I used to give myself a budget of $180, which was $45 every single week. However, I am realizing that it does not take well, really, I was budgeting $35 for like a full tank of gas and then $10 for a car wash. So I noticed that it does not take $35 to fill up my tank anymore. It used to, but prices have kind of gone down, so it's not taking that. I could fill my tank up with $25 to $30, and 30 is a stretch. So I'm going to start giving myself $25 a week, every single week, to fill up my tank. And then I also noticed that I'm only getting car washes like every 2 weeks. I don't get a car wash every week. So instead of giving myself $10 every week for a car wash, I'm going to do $10 every other week for car washes. So I am significantly going down on my gas budget because unfortunately I'm noticing that I'm not really using all that money for gas and I'm just putting it toward other things, and I don't want to do that. So $60 decrease. Groceries used to be $280 a month. I am bumping that up to $300. So because I went down on gas, I can allocate some more money toward groceries. Same thing with home. I've been giving myself $60 a month, but because I also include like my skincare products and all that in home, not just what I need for the house, but also personal things, I am bumping that up from $60 a month to $75. My eating out budget used to be $100, and I'm also bumping that up to $120. So if I did the math correctly, I collectively have gone up in these categories a total of $55, which came from my decrease in gas of $60. So those are some changes that are happening this month. Meds will still get $40. That usually consists of like pain pills for like cramps and stuff, and allergy medicine. It is going into the spring and the summer, so I'm gonna need it. This month I'm going to allocate $260 for beauty. Beauty is another area that I'm looking to decrease in a bit, because over the last couple months I've been spending money on like my lashes, and I'm not doing that anymore because I'm just over it. They fall out too quickly for the amount of money that you pay. However, I am trying to keep up with my hair trims. I usually just get my hair trimmed, like a good trim, like once a year, but my stylist recommends me to do it at least 3 to 4 months. The last time I had a trim was in November, so I need to go see her and get a trim. She lives pretty far from me, so whenever I go see her, I get like a full service. I don't just do a trim because she's too far for me to go and get just a trim. So this is going to include a full service for my hair and then a pedicure this month. Those are my variable expenses. So let's add these up. So this month I am budgeting $955 to go toward personal spending. And I did mention to you all that I am going to start getting more like picky, if you will, with my bills and expenses, because I am on a journey to have a fully funded emergency fund. I do have quite a hefty savings account, but I want a separate account that's just for like an emergency fund. So in the event of like income loss or anything like that. And it doesn't have to be anything like super major. Oh, side note, hopefully I can still pay attention, although I'm telling y'all some story time. And this is not my story, but I was watching a Judge Judy episode. I want to believe it was late last week, and there was an ex-husband that was suing his ex-wife for money that she got back from the insurance company after she got into a car accident, because she was driving a car that I was not supposed to spell this completely out but she was driving a car that was for their daughter, and she had permission to do it. He had, told her she could drive it until the daughter was eligible to drive. So I don't know if she didn't have a license or what. So the mom's driving the car, and she gets into an accident in the car, and it was a pretty bad accident. Like, she couldn't work for some time. She had to have surgeries and just all type of stuff. So she took the money from the insurance company for the car, which was really probably for them to get a new car, and she used it to survive. The mom was self-employed. And so what happened was she was out of work. She couldn't work, and she didn't have like an emergency fund. She didn't have anything to support them while she was doing that. So she had to use the money that her ex-husband really should have gotten because it was a car that he paid for. And it was just crazy because when I saw that episode, I think it was last week, I'm trying to decide if I should skip a space, but I'll leave it just in case my student loan payment comes in this month, but we'll see. But yeah, it was totally like a reminder for me, or like a confirmation for me, of why it is so important if you live on variable income to have an emergency fund, because you know anything can happen. You can need to go be with family for a situation. One time I got COVID a couple years back and I couldn't work for a couple weeks, and so anything can happen, and so an emergency fund is very important. And so that's my main focus right now, which is building my emergency fund and using my 1 month ahead binder. So I'm being very, just really reflecting on my budget, on like what's working, what's not working, what do I need to adjust. And so that's where we are. Down here, I just have some additional expenses or methods of saving that I want to allocate for in my budget. And so, and these expenses or categories down here are not a variable expense, a consistent variable expense, and they're not a bill. So I just throw them down here. You don't have to do it this way. You could do it however you like. And I don't know if y'all hear this cat. Like, it is this cat outside of my door that's just like, I feel like he's been there for like 3 days. Okay, so sinking funds will get $280. For saving challenges for the month of March in the card challenge, we're doing $130. And then in the Rose Gold saving challenge, we are doing, okay, 50, 60, 70. So that is $200 for our saving challenges for this month. If I were to stuff all of my envelopes in my month ahead binder, that would be $79. I get paid weekly, so that would be per week. And if I stuff this every single week, that would give me $316 for the month. I may or may not put that much in there. It just kind of depends on what other expenses I need to pay for this month. Okay, so these are the amounts. Let me go ahead and add fixed expenses. So we are at $15.29 is the budget. My electricity bill may be higher than that because it's been winter, so I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna skip a couple spaces just in case, well, I'll put it here, just in case something else comes up. So I'll skip a space. In case something comes up this month, I'm really trying to just save a space for student loans because I'm just not sure what that's gonna look like. So let's go ahead and add this. So $11.93 is what we are budgeting. So if we add all this up together, $9.55, $15.29, and $11.93, $3,677 is what we are working with this month as far as expenses and some cash savings. And I'm just gonna put this down here. And then next we can move on to the paycheck budget. So for the paycheck budget, I'm going to be using 4 paychecks this month. My budgets run from Thursday to Friday. So they begin on Fridays, they end on Thursdays. So I'm gonna set up 1 paycheck with you all, and as far as explaining everything, and then I will time lapse through the other 3 paychecks to save us some time. And so if you are new, I don't share my revenue or my income. I did share it when I was a teacher because it was, you know, public information, but as a self-employed person, I do not share it. I do have people that help me out sometimes that, you know, will work and I'll pay them to help me out. And so when you're dealing with, you know, paying, and I used to pay my mom, now I'm paying my friend, you know, you're dealing with jobs is just not the best practice. So I don't share my income, but if you are an OG, you already know that. So what I do here is just put my weekly expenses. So we total up my weekly personal expenses and cash savings, and that's what I show here on my paychecks. And because I do get paid multiple times a month, I try to consolidate everything just so it's easier for me to kind of quickly glance at what I'm working with. But like if you get paid monthly or bi-monthly, then you could use like a whole sheet for your paycheck. So, but I'm gonna consolidate. So I'm gonna have, under expenses, I'm gonna have my fixed expenses, which are my bills. I'm gonna have my variable expenses, which are my cash envelopes. I'm going to do my sinking funds and my saving challenges, and I just abbreviate those two. I add them together because I run out of space. I run out of lines. Then I'm going to do my month ahead binder. And then I'm going to do extra expenses. So this is where I would put like, you know, like my niece's birthday that's coming up. So money for her gift, my cruise payment, I put all that under here. And then I do use a space for budgeted things that do pop up. In the month of February, I didn't have any unbudgeted expenses. That rarely happens. You usually have something pop up, but I did not have any unbudgeted expenses in February, so that was really nice. Okay, so I will fill in the expected amount and total it out when I come back to do my first paycheck breakdown and cash stuffing for March. So now I'm just gonna go through and fill in the rest of the months, and then I will be back, or the rest of the paychecks, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so on the very next page after the paychecks, and I'll do a final flip through with you all at the end of the video so you can see the kind of the flow of everything. But on the very next side after the paychecks, I am going to put down my weekly check-in. And so this is where I track and check in with my variable expenses, cash envelopes. So I'm gonna get this set up. And one thing I highly recommend if you are using the sticker method is to get your whole budget for the month set up in one sitting. A while ago, I used to kind of set it up week by week, and I did not like it. It was much better for me to set it up all at one time for the whole month, and then all I have to do throughout the month is just fill everything in. So I'm putting in my cash envelope categories now, and these are categories that I'm going to check in week to week and then keep up with what I have left for the month. Also over here on the side, I'm going to write down the dates for the week that this pertains to. So this first week of March for me will be from February 28th, that's a Friday, to March 6th, that's a Thursday, and then we'll pick up with March 7th and so on and so forth. So now I'm going to go ahead and time lapse the rest. Okay, y'all, so we are done with the weekly check-in and we are ready to move on to the sinking funds. So let's go ahead and flip the page. And what I do for this portion is, this is where I track my sinking funds. I track how they're growing. It just kind of helps me to stay mindful of making sure that I'm growing them and not dwindling them, because to me, in my experience, sinking funds definitely will keep you out of debt. Sinking funds, like emergency fund, all those things help you to stay out of debt. When you have cash that you've saved up, you have money that you've saved up for expensive times or hard times. So I have my sinking funds binder here, and I'm gonna zoom out so you guys can see the whole scope of things. And what I'm gonna do is go through each envelope, and I can see the total at the back here. I'm gonna write the fund right where we're starting with back here, and do that for each envelope. And then at the end of the month, I go through and see where I ended off and put that at the end along with the total. So for this first one of birthdays, I'm going to write birthdays. I see that it's 230. So I'm gonna put my starting point as 230, and that's what I'm gonna do for each one for my high priority and low priority. Okay, y'all, so sinking funds are done. They are ready to be added up to see what we have. So these are all my categories that I have, and I definitely did not start out with this many categories. It just grew over time, and to be honest, I need to do some adjusting with these as well. So that might happen this month. So let's go ahead and add up and see how much we have in sinking funds. So far we have $3,094 in our sinking funds. So that's a pretty good amount, guys, because we haven't seen the threes, I don't know if ever. Like, I know I was walking into ones for a minute, and then we've been in the twos for a little minute, but we are gradually making our way to the threes. And that's okay, because sinking funds, this is money that is meant to be spent. There is money that's meant to be spent on these categories. So it is okay. The last thing that I'm going to do in my budget that we'll start filling in within my next cash stuffing and paycheck budget video is a savings tracker. So if you know, for the last several months of my budget, this is February, I have kept an expense tracker in my budget. And I'm still in February, so I have not closed out sinking funds yet, but I will. And I forget to post it on Instagram. I try to post my end of month numbers over there, but I forget. So for expense tracking, I have been trying to consistently expense track since I began. And I don't know if it's because I'm a single budgeter and maybe my budget is not as complex as maybe some other people's budgets who have a family or children or, you know, all the things. I'm not really sure, but as of right now, I have to just be honest with myself that this is not something in my budget that I'm accurately using right now, and it might cause for me to maybe try to find a different way to budget or to track my expenses. I said I was going to try the highlighter method, but I haven't gotten into it yet. Or maybe because I'm kind of focused on some other goals, this is not a main focus for me. Not saying that it's not important. Or maybe for me it's a little redundant because I am tracking my expenses with the weekly check-in. I don't really know, guys. I haven't been able to figure out why I'm not able to use this accurately. I was looking at some other people's videos. I think I kind of noticed, like, people that do kind of expense track regularly and efficiently, maybe are not using a weekly check-in. And so maybe that's why it's a little difficult for me. But then I was like, I would love to use this for, like, you know, tracking sinking funds and all that to say, I have to do a little bit more of self-reflecting and research on how I can use expense tracking in my budget in a way that works for me. So like sinking funds work. I use sinking funds. I've been using it in my budget for forever. Just to kind of show you guys, this was my January budget, because we don't play games around here. Like we use our budget. We as in me. So like sinking funds, you know, I've used it. I did do okay in January with expense tracking, but it's like all of the other components of my budget I am accurately using. It's like second nature for me, but I can't quite seem to figure out how I want to use expense tracking. If you use it, you can let me know in the comments how you do it. So I don't know. So for the month of March, I decided to essentially take a break from the expense tracking situation and of course continue to use my weekly check-in. It's such a staple in my budget. I love it. So keep using this. And I decided to, for right now, use a savings tracker, because one of my annual goals for this year, let me zoom you guys out a little bit. One of my annual goals for this year is to save at least $2,500 in cash. So I figured, you know, I could probably just go ahead and start using my savings tracker to track for this yearly goal of saving at least $2,500 in cash. So we're gonna put that here. And the $2,500 is not all of my savings. Just to let you guys know, I do save portions of my paycheck every single week in my high yield savings account online. So I save in multiple places. I also have a Roth IRA, and so, but this is just what I'm aiming to save in cash. You know, like that money that you would have easily just spent on other things that are, you know, not even necessary. But if you save it in cash, like, you know, it's money that you ordinarily wouldn't save. So we're going to use a savings tracker this month, give the expense tracking a rest, and we're going to track how much money we're saving in cash. What I'm going to track will be my saving challenges, which are these two binders. And I'm going to start tracking how much money I have saved in my 1 month ahead binder. And all three of these will accumulate to the cash savings that I'm trying to save this year. The last thing that I'm going to do in this video is fill in my dashboard page, which is where I put my financial goals and important things coming up in the month. But I am going to do that off camera and just come back and show it to you all. So I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I'm just gonna do a quick flip through of the planner. I did end up using everything on my deco sheet. So I put a couple things here on the calendar, and then mostly everything went on the dashboard page of the planner. So I just wrote down like the important dates that I have going on this month, some projects that I'm working on. I only have one financial goal for this month. I prayed about it and I was just like, okay, well, let's increase our giving this month. So if another one pops up, I'll put it there. So this is the monthly budget sheet. These are the 4 paychecks for this month. This is the weekly check-in page, my sinking funds tracker, and my savings tracker. And that is going to conclude this video. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope that it inspires you to get your March budget together. And I'll see you guys back in my next video. Bye.